Welcome to Unpopular, kids, where we're talking about stereotypes and Venom. They go together. Mwah.
Oh, just do it already.
Yeah.
Huzzah! Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Unpopular Kids. I'm the Jovenshire. Hi.
Hello.
Thank you for coming today. This is my party. I've had some of my closest friends here.
Hello.
To my left, you'll see Nicole Z.
Hey,
Hello.
everybody. Thanks for having me.
I don't know what character this is that I'm playing. Hi, Nicole. How are you doing
It's like
today?
an infomercial. We're gonna buy anti-wrinkle cream.
Ooh, I put some on my forehead last night. I'm
Did you
gonna
just
start
call
doing
us
that
all
every
wrinkly?
night.
Yeah.
Ow.
Well,
that's me.
not
Better
after
call.
the cream.
Oh, yeah, that's why you use cream. Hi, Matt Rob.
Hi.
How are you doing today?
I'm well. How are you?
I heard through the grapevine that you're going to be trying out a new catchphrase with us
I
today.
am Ziwataneho.
That's not going to catch on at all.
Language of my people.
Hi, Flitz.
Hello.
How are you doing?
First of all, you listen to grapevines? That's
Yes.
weird.
No, I just really like Motown music.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Not a thing.
Yeah, definitely a thing.
The singing raisins, kind of.
Oh, they were scary.
First of all, they were called the California Raisins.
She doesn't want to get sued.
The singing craisins.
And then all the way from one of my favorite YouTube channels, Mr. Davis from the Warp Zone.
Mr. Davis.
Hello.
That was all together. That was. You could be a Bond
Mr.
villain.
Davis was my father. Just call me regular.
If you
Davis
were
died?
Average Davis.
or original Davis.
Regular Davis. I like
OD.
If you were a Bond villain, what would be your master plan, Mr. Davis? Good with the improv skills.
No.
yes.
I don't know.
And-
Like, I just like want to be alone. So I would just get the like island, like the
He's
whole
just a
lair,
hermit.
and then just like not do anything, and then not do anything else.
Actually, this is everything that I wanted.
Yeah, I
Bond
just,
would constantly try to stop you. Be like, no, dude, I don't want to. I just want to be left alone.
it's a non-issue, dude.
It says evil layer, but I'm doing nothing.
Yeah.
There's nothing happening.
Just quiet layer.
And it would be all like, green technology too. So like, I'm like kind of not even that bad, really.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't even know why it says evil. Anyways, we're getting off track. Here on Unpopular Kids, we're going to be talking about some cool stuff. But before we do that, big thanks to Taco Bell and the Quesalupa. If you guys haven't had the Quesalupa yet, go try it out. I had one last night. Like, real talk. It's like a chalupa, but then it has like melted pepper jack cheese on the inside. I love pepper jack cheese. They know how to get to my heart. So if you have, what? You've never had pepper jack cheese?
I love pepper jack cheese.
Okay.
Clearly, you've never been in love. Okay.
Yeah.
Cheese.
Fun fact, I love cheese. So whenever you melt pepper
can
jack
tell.
into something, that was mean and uncalled
Try
for.
and get a new catchphrase.
Anyways, thank you, Taco Bell. And the Quesalupa is going to be coming back into action a few times this episode. Anytime someone says, bigger than. Everyone goes crazy.
My face is melting.
But let's get into the show.
Ba-doom.
We like to start off something with a little lightning.
Hey,
He wants to be a rock star so
he
bad.
just had a really terrifying thunderstorm.
I
Terrifying. You're such a Californian.
I slept
I
with
actually
the door
loved it.
open.
You slept with the door open?
Yeah.
No, it's
Because it
That's
was
how
raining.
rapists get in.
Rapists.
Rapist, he's a rapper.
Rapist.
Hi guys, this is
These
Lightning
doors.
Round. You know how Lightning Round works. You guys tweet us and leave comments below using the hashtag #UnpopularKids, and you put.
They say unpopular kids.
So apparently, for years and
the
years and
unpopular
years,
way of saying
I
it.
have been saying unpopular wrong. I say unpopular. Nope,
Unpopular.
that's the right way to say it.
Unpopular.
Anyways, first question for
Mr.
for
Unpopular's
Davis.
Penguins.
This one's from John Pirowitz on YouTube. Davis, what do you think of the Star Fox Zero trailer, and are you looking forward to the game?
Yeah, I'm a big Star Fox fan. I'm looking forward to the game. I don't know. I still think this is like a half step, like an HD.
It's a half measure. It's just a half measure.
I've been watching a lot of Daredevil, so
Getting ready for season
no,
2.
but it's like it's just like Star Fox 64 HD.
Is that bad though?
It's not bad. It'll be fun, but it's
Nintendo's
not.
been wanting to reinvent all of their titles and add new things and take away from what we used to love. But give us Star Fox 64 again.
You know what?
They
Compared to
did,
like Assault,
17 times.
And it keeps
they've-
getting better every time I play it.
that's true. But like they've done like Assault and a bunch of other weird things. So maybe the first step is just getting it back to what we want,
And then they can mess it up
and
again.
then the next one on the NX will be like
do a wheelbarrow.
because the NX is gonna turn it around.
I actually did
Oh,
like
you
at the
wanna
end
wait.
of the trailer, like out of nowhere, it just knows its audience. It's like Star Fox Zero, beat, dual barrel roll. I'm
Star
like,
Fox Guard though, that's bull. That's not even a game. Slippy doesn't have an Uncle Grippy. with a weird stash.
yeah, I saw that.
He might. He just doesn't talk
Yeah,
about
stop
Why do
trying to make-
uncles have to have stashes?
His uncle's name is Grippy. He
Why would
was very
amphibians
proud of
have
Uncle
facial
Grippy.
hair?
Yeah.
These are the questions.
Nicole
That's
asking
the
the,
real-
deeper questions. Next question. Speaking of questions, this one comes from at Blackish Scream on Twitter. Flitz, what IP should be protected from M. Night Shyamalan at all costs?
At all costs.
Airbender. Again.
Samurai Jack.
Oh.
Samurai Jack
And RoboCop.
like RoboCop. Samurai Jack. I would love to see a live action movie, and I feel like that's something like, as a giant nerd, M. Night would be like, I would like to direct
like,
it
oh, my
because
kids love it, I
Samurai
love it.
Jack was secretly Aku the whole time. You know, like that's an M. Night movie.
Yeah, he would do that.
Haku?
Aku.
Aquaman.
Hakuna Matata.
Akuman.
He's Timon and Pumbaa.
And Goku?
But I'm excited that Samurai Jack is coming back, so that's cool.
But now that you said that, I really do want a live action Samurai Jack.
No.
No?
Jendy Tartakovsky is our modern day Chuck Jones, and he should only do animation. Everything he touches should only be animated.
I've been put in my place. No
there.
live action.
Live in your
Sorry,
place.
not gonna happen.
we can tell.
Next question.
Watanabe.
For Nicole. This one is from. I'm trying to give you a
Did
question.
you just watch Shawshank? Is
No,
that
I
Hi.
just like that word.
okay?
Okay, good. This one is from at Pokemadness 1996, but has nothing to do with Pokemon. What are your thoughts on the Russo brothers coming out and saying that they're down for doing a solo Black Widow movie?
I think that's great. I'm glad that we're having the conversation. We're talking about where we can go with not just diversity, but just having more characters, having more stories being told.
Because what we definitely need is more Marvel movies.
But, I mean, we're gonna get them, so we might as well have a bunch of different types of them rather than just sequels. As far as Black Widow goes, I don't know if I like her as much as I would like a Wasp movie. I don't know if her powers are cool enough in my opinion.
The training of a
to-
ballerina to be super duper
Right, and then
elite
like
assassin.
her like
She's Janet
biggest
Bourne.
emotional like,
Janet Bourne.
But then like Janet Bourne who can't have children and like that like tears her apart.
Janet
like
Bear.
I'm just like
Whoa.
she can adopt.
She can adopt, absolutely.
But she's still bad.
That doesn't make her a monster.
No.
But
No,
it
but
could
she's
make
got
her
a thing for
mother.
monsters.
Yeah.
She does have a thing for
Sure.
monsters.
But I mean, I think a Wasp would be more interesting. I think it's fine to have another Bourne movie.
Sure.
Fine, but I feel like we wouldn't get this movie until maybe the end of 2025, like maybe 2030. I mean, the Marvel plan's been
She's
announced.
going through menopause.
Yeah, she's going super old Black
The Marvel
Widow.
plan's been announced already, and the
be Grey
Wasp's not
Widow.
even in there. So
Hold on, she shares a title with Ant-Man. The sequel is Ant-Man and the Wasp.
No, talking Black Widow.
no, but the Wasp is supposed to get her standalone movie.
Sure. Allegedly.
But she's not gonna.
Let's see how Wonder Woman does.
Yeah, because if one woman doesn't do well in a movie, we shouldn't give any of them one.
Agreed.
Precise.
That's the
No,
smartest thing you said all.
Good points.
Next question. This one is from Matt Rob's arch nemesis, Mr. Sketch.
Mr.
We got this from YouTube. That's his song. What are your thoughts on fan films? And if you have one, which is your favorite?
I hate them. End of question.
Okay, next question. No.
No, I think fan films are fantastic. They are exactly what I think the backbone of what YouTube was when it was kind of coming up. And I remember some of the older ones where there was just the directors handing out DVDs at Comic-Con. It was when he did Batman.
discs.
Floppy disks. Here you go. 2 megabytes. No, it was Batman Dead End, where it was Batman versus Predator versus Alien versus Joker. And it was really good.
That was so good.
Versus the world.
And the
Versus
newest
the-
coming out, Batman versus Child Support. It's
Uh-huh.
gonna be really
Where are my kids? No, it was really solid, and like the fact that you could let fans do kind of cool, crazy stuff and not be super stingy with your IP is always awesome.
Yes.
And Star Wars has always been a really big one. And like George Lucas for the longest time was like, please stop making fan films because they're better than my movies. So just stop. But like this, but white. And he.
You should be George Lucas for Christmas.
No, never.
Not Halloween.
No, just Christmas.
Yeah, we celebrate Christmas weird here.
You don't dress up for Christmas.
As George Lucas?
George Lucas is
Can
Santa.
we do it? Because we're all
Wow.
We're all George Lucas.
Christmas at the Ovenshire house was weird.
Sing the Tree of Life song. Julie.
Yup, 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 yup.
It's very pagan.
But I think it's interesting because now Abrams is coming in and changing yet another thing and being like, yo, not only do I want you to make fan films, but if they're good enough, maybe I'll give you a shot at a movie or a TV show. So like it's stepping up and everyone's kind of stepping up their game. In terms of my favorite, I think old school, that Batman Dead End, Google it. It's awesome. New School. Have you guys seen the Darth Maul? It's like 17 minutes long.
yeah,
It's like a
I haven't seen it.
22-minute
No, that's good.
sitcom.
That's how long they should be.
But it's good. It's Darth Maul Apprentice, and it's kind of like him before he meets Qui-Gon and before he gets his spider legs, and like it's pretty solid.
Are
and
Spider
like,
Legs canon?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's from the Clone Wars, and Clone Wars is canon.
Clone Wars
Yeah.
canon.
Clone
What
Wars
about?
canon.
Did you ever
Canon.
see Grayson?
Yeah, Grayson's great.
Grayson was fantastic.
Grayson's really good. There was a lot of Batman ones. For some reason, that's the one that stands out. I guess because it's easy to do.
Because the origin story has been told so many times that it like.
Well,
it's-
that-
Well,
everyone
not just
knows
Batman,
it.
but like the
They're
Bat
normal.
family. Because
Yeah.
I feel like they're
Normal.
like, no one is ever going to do a Jason Todd movie, so I'm going to make one, right? There's like Batgirl Spoiled, which we know a lot of people that did that.
I redid the sound for that, and it got taken down because the sound was better.
But I mean, like, I just think that like certain studios should just be like, yeah, man, make a thing. Like, there was a period in time where I wanted to make like an awesome Savage Dragon fan film because like, who are the
You
Savage
can't
Dragon?
make money off another
Savage
IP.
Dragon
You
fan
can't,
film
but
would
you
be
can't.
awesome.
That's where it gets complicated.
That's the tough part. But it's like you can't. There's an argument to be said that you can't make money off of a short.
Well, it seems like anytime we get a really
Most people
good,
don't.
Yeah.
anytime we get a really good fan film, someone takes it down. Like
Right.
when we had the
Power Rangers got.
what was it? 2 years ago.
Batgirl got
That one was fantastic. You had the Red Hood. Which was kind of
That
like
got taken down?
It was like a sequel to the Nolanverse where you never really see Nightwing, but it's all about Red Hood showing up and just like messing everyone up.
There
It
was also
great.
there was a couple Nolanverse sequels. There was one where they did the Riddler, which was pretty good. There was like Riddled or something, where it was like, what would the Riddler look like in the
Yeah.
Nolanverse?
yeah.
There's a bunch out there, and no
The
one's
Mortal
ever
Kombat
kind of
ones did well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they got paid to keep making them.
exactly.
Yeah,
they
that was smart.
Kevin Tatchner.
Street
Wait, but
Fighter
those
Zero
aren't
Test.
fan films, right? That's like
Well, they
that's
started
backed
out as
by-
fan
It started out as a fan film,
Yeah, and then
it turned
Machinima
it-
gets like,
Yeah.
or WB then puts money behind it. So in other words, what we're learning here is stop taking down fan film studios.
Just give us money to make more.
yeah.
Or Machinima, who I guess has a relationship with DC, needs to communicate with the fans
Yeah.
that too.
more, better.
See what they want. See what
I,
they
More
want.
better,
I,
indeed.
I'm actually really enjoying this topic. But hey, guys, next question.
lightning round.
Lightning, so
Slowest
fast.
lightning.
Goes by so fast.
Davis, this one's for you from Zian Moses. Yup.
Yeah.
Yep. What are your thoughts on CW saying that they may do a live-action Vixen series after her cameo this season on Arrow? And for those who don't know, who is Vixen?
Vixen is
She's just a poor girl whose dad was shot.
from was she Detroit or Chicago?
Detroit,
yeah.
That's right.
She has this talisman that lets her channel the like abilities of animals. It's cool. It works a lot better in comics than it did on the Arrow budget. It wasn't
Arrow
terrible.
budget, yeah.
That's because I'm thinking about it. I'm like, look.
She should have been in a Flash,
with
guys.
Flash,
Flash has a better
but
budget.
actually, yeah, with Flash or Legends of Tomorrow budget, they might be able to pull it off. Some of the stuff in that episode was straight up hokey. When she does the weird panther front flip, I was like,
It's like, I
no.
remember Spider-Man 1. Remember that? Yeah.
Yeah,
the gorilla like slowly shaking this like box to break it. That was great.
I would get rid of the weird motorcycle jacket.
Yeah.
I'd have her get her hair down to shorter, like have her look like
How
she does
she's
in the comics.
supposed to?
Because that actually like it looks more unique and interesting to me than just like whatever. So I would not. I'd watch it.
I think it'll make
give
more
it the
sense
budget.
if they put her in season 2 of Legends of Tomorrow.
Yes.
Which would be cool. Like, what if they
Ooh, I
just
like
like
that
totally
idea.
like misfitted the show? Like, if you watch Misfits on BBC, it's like a group of young,
So good.
yeah, it's a group of young ne'er do wells that get struck by lightning while they're doing community service, and they all get powers.
Lightning like this
Tales old
goes
as
by
time.
so fast.
Yeah, so fast. This lightning is so fast it lasted 4 seasons.
Yeah.
And every season they would always just be like, "All right, that was last season. This is this season." Because
Yeah.
BBC is either gets really bored of people or they hate paying people more than
And they
1 year.
killed him.
Yeah.
And they
A
just
little
killed
bit
him.
of column A, a little bit of
Yeah,
column B.
probably.
I do like the idea. She maybe not her own show because I feel like that gimmick might get old after a while. Like, oh, she can turn into animals.
The one thing though is she has a really unique power set and a unique location. Like who
Yeah.
else is based out of Detroit?
Well, that's
That's
what's
true.
also
Detroit
weird. Is
needs
like
them out.
It's like a
DC.
city.
RoboCop.
Yeah, well, no, DC has always used fake cities except for Detroit.
They're
Yeah.
all Canada though.
Yeah.
All of them.
Everything looks just
Well, I
like
mean,
Canada.
It's gonna be hard to make beautiful Canada look like Detroit.
Yeah.
The city in Flash is pretty.
It is, but the thing is, like, every city in DC lore has always been like Star City,
Next to a
Emerald City, Central City, Coast City.
Yeah, they're all based off of
Yeah.
Detroit
Wizard
City.
of Oz.
But like Detroit, and then it's like, and also Detroit.
But there also is the real cities too.
Yeah, some of them.
Yeah, sometimes. Next question. Moving this along for Flitz from Ethan Harris on YouTube. What are your thoughts on Marvel movies lacking diversity?
Oh damn!
It's a slow process
Why'd you ask
of
Flitz that question?
Yeah.
It's a slow process of growth, and it's very glaring, and I think it's one that a lot of people don't even realize. It's kind of a perception filter where a lot of shows, and that's the thing about the Marvel comics, they're getting better. Miss Marvel is now a little Middle Eastern girl.
Thor.
Thor is now
Just
a woman,
Thor?
and that's great.
Thor.
In the
Oh,
comics.
In the comics,
Yeah.
but the thing that is working out is the cinematic universe is slowly trying to adjust in the same way, even with Miles Morales now in the comics being the main face of Spider-Man. It looks like
I saw like a quote where he's like, "I don't want to be the
I don't
black
want to
Spider-Man.
be the Black Spider-Man.
I just want to be Spider-Man."
Spider-Man.
That was a great line.
And so taking all of it's work. It's getting there, and hopefully other industry platforms will follow suit. Because personally, I can't support a show where it's a whole cast of a bunch of white people and
those
one
people.
black dude. Like it's a conversation that's happening. People are aware of it, and it's one step at a time from there because it's a biological change. There's a reason why a bunch of people are supporting a dude who would probably kill a bunch of people of, darker color for president. I'm talking about Trump.
Okay.
But
Hold on.
no, but that's
political.
but that shows how much of a change we have to go. In the meantime, and it's a slow process. So the people who are empowered, they're doing it. It's just it takes time.
Takes a process. All right. Well, but so you think it's happening?
It's happening. It's
Okay.
it's a scary process for a lot of people because it's a lot of change, but one step at a time. And I think we are, as a people, are on the right track. And so serious.
Good answer. Good answer. Next question from at Mr. Tifnil. From Twitter for Nicole. On a scale of 1 to Fantastic Four, how bad does the new Ghostbusters trailer look?
It's a loaded question.
Zach.
That's just 1 to 4. I think he was trying to.
Yeah, scale from 1 to
Sure.
4.
One Fantastic Four. I thought it was a nice trailer. I liked the trailer. I don't think that it was bad. And to further my research, I watched the old Ghostbusters trailers for like the original Ghostbuster movie, and like I wasn't like in stitches laughing either. I mean, I guess we'll get into this later, but I don't really understand the backlash for this trailer at all.
Okay.
Me either.
I thought it was a good trailer.
The problem is that trailers have evolved a lot in the last like 30 years.
But they're
so
also
it's
stuck
not-
in one place.
This is also just the first of like probably 47 trailers.
Yeah, it should have been a teaser.
The recut trailer was better.
The recut trailer is
trailer?
perfect.
No,
I
like the recut trailer.
we'll get
Okay, we'll get into Ghostbusters in a second. Let's wrap up lightning round with this last question from Victor Hugo on YouTube from Matt Robb. Which is worse, Spider-Man 3 or
Oh,
X-Men
man.
3: The Last Stand?
Talk about a lot of loaded questions.
I actually really like The Last Stand.
Really?
I did.
When's the last time you saw it?
Recently, we're rewatching all of the X-Men movies, and definitely in comparison to some of the Wolverine ones, it's not the worst.
See, my problem is like you can't compare the two because I feel like X-Men Last Stand was like it was just a new group coming in. It was a whole mix match of things.
Brett
Matthew
Ratner.
This was when Matthew Vaughn was supposed to come in and do like his X-Men, right?
Yeah.
So Matthew Vaughn's the director that did Kick-Ass. He's done a ton of I think he did
Did you do
Kingsman.
First Class?
He did First Class, so he came in later. So he came in, it was like a weird mess, and this is lightning round. He came in, he's like, I'm going to make it totally different. I'm going to bring my friend Vinnie Jones. He's going to be Juggernaut. I'm going to cast all these people. And then at like the last minute, he's like, oh crap, I can't actually do the movie. Sorry, guys. And he left, and then they brought somebody else in to do the movie, and he had all these weird piecemeal things, and it was just too much going on. But then Spider-Man 3 was a complete studio takeover. Spider-Man 3, like, Sam Raimi had a vision for 1, had a vision for 2, and then he didn't want to do 3, and they're like, no. You had 2 bad guys in 2. We gotta make this bigger than the last one. We gotta go huge. We gotta make it bigger than 2.
Suits.
Bigger than 2.
More action figures.
Right,
sold.
and they refused to do it, so we had to. It had to be. I gave you guys like 3 opportunities for the big one.
Thanks for telling us.
I was really into your story.
I was like, tell me more, but what
Yeah,
happened to
I was
Spider-Man
really-
3?
Sorry. So they wanted to make it bigger. He didn't want to do Venom. He didn't want to do Sandman. He wanted to basically make this like the tail end of the Osborn legacy. And he didn't want to do it, and it was kind of a mess, and you can kind of tell. There's no Sam Raimi isms in the movie at all. It doesn't feel like his passion is in there. So I'd say Spider-Man 3 is worse.
There you go.
Dang.
I'll take it. The Last Stand was
no
fun.
soul.
It was fun. Yeah, it's definitely against the comics. And
It's
everything.
also there's a lot of not fun.
Do
in
you
X-Men
know
3.
who I am? Oh, I was saying.
Juggernaut. It was so good.
No, that's not how the
Yeah.
internet did it.
No, it doesn't matter. They used it was good. Anyways, that's lightning round. Super quick, super fast. You know. But this week, we're gonna be talking about some news that happened. First of all, yes, we got a new Ghostbusters trailer, and the internet is loving it. Apparently. Also, Sony says that they are still going to be moving forward with a Venom movie
And Sinister Six.
and Sinister Six, which
Whoa.
that's going to start with that because it'll make me mad less. I don't know if I like this idea. So what we're having is Paul Feige of Marvel, Kevin Feige.
Paul Feige.
Paul
Paul's
Feige.
little brother.
Ghostbusters.
He's a really nice guy.
There's a lot of Feige's involved. So Kevin Feige is saying that, so he's helping produce the new standalone Spider-Man movie, but Sony is still doing their own Venom movie, which is not under the umbrella of Marvel's overlooking at it yet.
Right. It hasn't been written. It hasn't been put into a slot of like where it's going to come out.
It's just saying that they're going to do it, and honestly, I'm really worried about that because, like, what if Marvel has to get involved? Because what if they do a really bad Venom movie like the last two Amazing Spider-Man movies, where they just weren't that good?
Just make it Flash
Spider-Man
Thompson.
3 was a terrible Venom movie.
Yeah, Spider-Man 3 was a really bad Venom movie. It just looked like they just slapped a mouth on a Spider-Man costume.
Pretty much, that's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
And I do believe, though, that Venom, if introduced correctly, could have a standalone film.
Give him an R-rated Venom movie where he breaks the fourth
Oh,
wall.
that's right. That's probably. Do
Use
you
the
think it's a
Flash Thompson
reactionary
Venom
thing?
with the guns.
Yeah, where he has cancer.
And he has no legs.
But like, all joking aside, that's what I would want them to do if they do like
Yeah.
a solo.
Yeah.
Do Flash Thompson, and then do it where like it's in the future. It like. You can reference that Spider-Man
Venom
exists.
2099.
You can reference that it used to be Eddie Brock and a villain, and then just go forward from there.
But then does that exist within the Avengers universe?
It
the
can.
other
It just
Spider-Man will?
just takes place in the future in that case. Which
I mean, but he's
think
like a Black
keeps
Ops
it
guy.
safe.
You can have him do his own specific stuff and not.
I think they want to go like Todd McFarlane,
Yeah,
like
I think they
Venom,
wanna go scary,
giant tongue
sadly.
drippy. Like I
Yeah.
think that's what they want
And
because
the
that's.
Spider-Man
I would love to see
fans
that,
are
but
younger
they haven't.
usually.
They're not going to lay the proper groundwork. It's not going to.
Do you think it'd be rated R?
They're going to screw it up again.
Stress.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's like doing a random. It's like we talked about this. It's like doing a Gambit movie in the middle of nothing. It's like, well, wait, what? Like, all right, sure. But I mean, like, it's gonna be bad. I'm just hoping because they announced Venom and then like 2 days later they're like, and also Sinister Six. I'm hoping in 2 days they're not like, and also that Aunt May movie that we're doing. We're definitely making that movie too. Or she's just sitting worrying about Peter.
Just
Spider-Man.
knitting.
Yeah, she's knitting, doing his laundry.
There was talk of a female-led Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
Spider
which,
IP, right?
Spider
Like,
IP, which
so
Gwen
Spider-Gwen.
Gwen is
Silk.
super popular right now.
Well, Gwen is, she's so cosplayable. It could also be Silk if they want to
Or
add like an
Black Cat if they're gonna stay with the villains theme.
No, nobody
Black
cares
Cat's
about
the
Black Cat.
An R-rated Black Cat movie.
What's
where
your
she breaks
power?
the
Your
fourth
power
wall.
is luck. You're Catwoman. I'm good. I don't need a movie.
Halle Berry.
Ooh.
Let's mix it up. Get a little
Yeah.
diversity in there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Cat.
good,
Yeah,
no.
Black Cat.
No.
I know what's up.
So moving on to Sinister Six, even then I
cool
didn't think it was.
idea.
Is it? I think once we see Suicide
It's
Squad
Suicide
fail,
Squad. Yeah.
It's Suicide Squad, Guardians of the Galaxy. Like,
so
I
all
just,
of their
I just
all
don't
their
think
stuff
that
is
they
just
have enough
reactionary.
personality. Though. I've never been like a big Sinister Six fan. I don't think that they're like.
I like the concept of all the different colored bad guys coming together. Like, cool, sure, all right, but like, I guess how do you do it from their perspective, where it's just like they're constantly being foiled by Spider-Man?
Rats.
Yeah, we did it.
But can there be, if let's say Sony makes these movies and for some reason they don't exist within the Marvel Avengers universe, can they even reference Spider-Man? If
Yes,
Spider-Man
because they still
exists
have the
They
in
own
Avengers,
the IP, so the way that it.
Yeah, but would it make sense for them to have two Spider-Mans that exist at the same time but in different universes?
Miles Morales.
I think just because they announced that the thing is happening and they haven't announced that Marvel's I think the deal is going to be Marvel kind of produces the Spider-Man properties for Sony, and I think that they're going to probably
think
run
that's
with
more
it.
as likely as
I
well.
think that the Sinister Six, because you know how these happen, is like a writer said that he's doing a script for something, and then that turns into a thing, and that turns into a thing. I would love the idea of them taking on this villains and hard R stuff. If this is their way of kind of doing the Thunderbolts, which the Thunderbolts is basically Marvel's Suicide Squad.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right? It's a bunch of villains that are on a mission to
They are also on a rotation.
yeah, exactly, right? And like having something like that where that's where you have your Norman Osborn, you've got your Dr. Octopus, but they're all kind of in this like secret agency to fight bad guys, right? I think
Maybe
that'd
they
be okay.
recreate S.H.I.E.L.D. as something different.
Hammer.
Hammer.
From, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, I thought I was a good idea.
It's a good idea.
Dude, Dark Reign though, that would be a sweet. Oh.
Dark Reigns.
Dark
Like
Reign.
people who are gluten free.
Nope.
No,
Heavy Rain.
Comic stuff.
If they are separate from Marvel, do you think Venom can become bigger than a Spider-Man movie?
I mean, like you guys are saying, he's probably a good candidate to go the Deadpool route because a lot of people are going to try and do that right now. But I think the Spider-Man universe, Spider-Man's always been so wholesome that it skews not always younger, not just younger, but definitely a young audience really like Spider-Man. I grew up watching that cartoon. Kids now like that stuff.
If they really push this Venom thing like a horror movie, like we know it's Venom, right? And it can take place in the Spider-Man universe, but it's a straight up horror film. The way Deadpool is an action comedy, like it's in the universe, but no, a straight up horror though. But like to the extent, like
would it be
like terrifying.
Would it be like a Jekyll and Hyde thing where like
You don't really
Eddie
know.
doesn't know what's really going on?
I think it'd be cool.
And so-
I think they go slasher and they make it like Venom is like this, because at the end, like Jason is the character we all kind of root for, right? If you've got this group of dumb gang bangers in New York and Venom is plucking them off one by one, that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
There was a fan film done by Avi Shankar who did the Power Rangers thing.
He used the Australian dude from True Blood, whose
Yes.
name I can't say.
Yes.
John
Yes.
Malafalad.
Yep, that's
Ryan
it.
Stackhouse.
Yep.
There you go.
Where they did this really cool thing where it was Eddie Brock as a reporter kind of tracking down these murders and trying to figure it out, and it turned out that he was actually Venom and
Yeah.
it was basically Jekyll and Hyde. It was
Or
really well done.
Smallville.
Yeah.
Sam Witwer when he was Doomsday on Smallville.
Also, Sam Witwer when he was Doomsday and Smallville.
He
was
did
trying
the
to
same
work a
thing. Where he was
Smallville
like, he was like the medic, but he would go around like
Yeah.
killing criminals to like
It was
feed his hunger.
Dexter was really hot then, so they just tried to throw
Yeah,
that off.
Just try to bring up Smallville.
I know. I try to do the same with Gotham, which is back
Somebody
on your
say-
TV. Yeah, that's. I mean, I dig it. I think it'd be great. I think Venom can be iconic. I think Venom looks very specific, so you'd have to go in a Deadpool kind of authenticity route and like make him look like the Todd McFarlane drippy giant jaw tongue lashing guy. You can't just slap a tongue on a Spider-Man costume and call it a day.
Yeah.
Like I think it needs to look legit.
Every time he's been kind of a main character in a Spider-Man game, also like his dialogue has always been very funny, and I think he is a good character that could stand out and be
Funny? Venom's
PG-13.
not funny.
What was it? It was Spider-Man on the PlayStation. He was like my favorite character in that game. He was cracking jokes, but like a monster at the same time, kind of like a Heatwave on Legends of Tomorrow, where he'll say something funny, but it's like he's the monster.
Got it.
Just let's go down the table really fast. Yay or nay? Do we think it's a good idea, or do we have concerns?
One last thought for your name. If you go the Flash Thompson route, you can have him synergize with Guardians of the Galaxy like he's doing in the comics eventually. You can play it out so he learns, goes to the Venom home planet, gets the suit purged.
Sure,
becomes
it'd
like
be cool if they actually tied it in. If Guardians of the Galaxy, when they inevitably come back to Earth, they bring something with them that is the Venom, and that's how they
like
kind
And
of.
then you have the semi-at war with the Avengers. That happened.
Okay, that's I'm a
Fun
yay
way
if they
to
do
tie
that.
it in. I like that.
Yeah.
I like the idea that it's
That's
within
massive.
the Avengers
And
Marvel
then
universe.
and then it's Disney and Sony working together, and then you can
And
have.
then world peace.
That's the next step.
All of this hinges on the Spider-Man movie. If the Spider-Man movie is as big of a hit as they think it's going to be, and is a huge success for Sony, they're just going to write checks.
A lot of
I
pressure
don't
for
like
that
the
16-year-old.
The Spider-Man.
Yeah, he's so little.
He's a little guy.
He's supposed
Yeah.
to be.
He's a kid. He's a teenager.
I'm excited.
But Tobey Maguire to me never looked like a little baby child.
But
Yeah,
that's
that's
because
why it was-
Tobey Maguire only had 5 years in him. Right after 5 years, he couldn't be Spider-Man anymore. I think they're
They've
playing the
learned
long
from it.
con with
They've
this
Right,
kid.
that's fair.
They're like, look, RDJ,
Yep.
he's done. He's done after this, right? They are going like, okay, until 2030, we're going to own your ass, Tom Holland.
It's turning into Avengers Academy.
sure.
You better wear lots of sunscreen.
Sunscreen is good for you.
Protect his skin so he doesn't age.
Cole's 60.
Yeah, looking good for a 60-year-old. Also, something else that happened was the trailer drop for, finally we get it, Ghostbusters. Why do you keep making that sound?
I love
I don't
that
know why.
Do you
sound.
really? Do you really love that?
I
It's
think
the Ghostbusters.
It was
sound.
like a blue balls. I'm like, just play it.
Oh, it was so good, but it just got you there. All right, you guys discuss, and then I'll tell you how it really is.
Okay, so the trailer, whether you think the movie is going to be good or bad, the real problem here is, surprise, surprise, the internet. Just everyone in the world is has to complain about every little thing. I feel so bad for any filmmaker.
And you live on the internet.
I do. I'm the problem.
Yeah.
We're the problem.
Not me.
No,
You can
you're
be
good.
part of the solution by donating. I don't know.
Well, so let's talk about the controversy. Everyone's like, "Oh, who is the
What
actress
is the
that plays?"
controversy? Like, can we
So
say it out loud?
the fact that you have 3 white actresses who play
Who are
scientists,
scientists.
and then you have the black actress.
Well, there are
who's-
layers of controversy. Controversy piece one, no one in flyover states believed that they were going to make an all-female Ghostbusters movie until the trailer materialized. Because while we're all on the internet all the time, there's an entire world of people that are like,
still just
until,
watch
They're like,
until
no.
I see it, not real. And then they saw it and they're like, oh no.
Man, that's so good. That's like
My grandpa didn't die on the beaches of Normandy for this horse shit.
Yeah,
Your
to have
grandpa
a bunch,
died on the
to have
beaches
a bunch
of
of
Normandy.
uterus
No, my grandpa
fighting
lived, and he was in
ghosts.
actually the Pacific Theater. But,
Yeah. But I think that there's 2 layers, right? So there's the all-female Ghostbusters, which there's tons of people who are like, no.
Which, let me just say, a female Ghostbuster is just a Ghostbuster.
No, she's a
Thank
Ghostbuster.
you.
Nope, just a
just a
Ghostbuster.
No, Lady
It's
Ghost.
like Black
We're
Spider-Man.
just people, just like that.
It's like
Same
Black
thing.
Spider-Man.
They're adjectives that you chose to add.
No, it's true. And so that's layer 1 are the sexists, and then layer 2, the weird backwards social justice warriors that are like, wait a second, there are 3 scientists, and the black lady
politically
is
correct
she's just a train worker.
No, because the promotional material that preceded the trailer say that she has a background in science, and then the guy who's writing the tie-in novels says, I can't say anything yet because the novels haven't been released, but don't get angry. This promotional material is accurate.
The actress
She's gonna
spoke out
be-
as well.
Yeah, Leslie Jones was like, shut up.
She was like, shut up. She was like, my character knows New York better than any other freaking character. Like, she's proud of that as well. She understands like that being.
And so she has a science background, and she has a job that pays way better. Like some site did this like analysis of what a assistant physics professor would make
fact that we
versus
need
like
that,
an agent like a subway stop or whatever, which is like a $30,000 salary difference. So like maybe she'll have a story. Like maybe there's a reason, and I just
It's
feel
just
like let's
the internet
wait
is
until
so
we actually
quick
know
to get
things.
angry. Even
There's
after,
facts.
the actress came out and said, "Hey, yeah, why can't a normal person be a Ghostbuster?" was what she argued, and then I saw a comparison between her and Ernie Hudson, and there was like. Pretty much it was like the same thing, but it all came down to Ernie Hudson didn't play a sassy black character stereotype, and they're doing that in this one with Jeebus jokes and slapping demons out of people.
I mean,
I know a lot of black people, and they tend to be
in the
sassy.
movie.
Right.
In the movie, his role was the one who was like, he was very religious. He had a very religious background, and he saw the ghost as a religious thing. So, I mean, that
Hey, if
existed
there's a steady
before.
paycheck, I'll believe in anything.
I don't know if he
That
was
was a
like
line.
a hard, devout religious person.
But
I
we
think
don't
that
know
was
if
part
she
of it.
is,
He
if
was like,
Patty
I'll
is
believe
either.
it.
I feel like he was more of like the point of view character where he's like, this is crazy.
Yeah, he
That's
was
a big
kind of the
Twinkie.
straight man.
The thing that bugged me the most, which I didn't pick up on until like watching the trailer a third time, at the very beginning where they're having the sad piano music, which we'll get to, because stop.
Yeah,
We
it's
get
in
it.
all
The
the
Jurassic
trailers.
Park theme of the sad piano music, the Ghostbusters theme of the sad piano music. We get it. We get it. We're all nostalgic.
I'm going to Jurassic Park.
There's a line that says 30 years ago, 4 scientists.
After, in the lore, which of the games and like the extended universe, he was a Marine and he had actual PhDs, and it's not clear if he got the PhDs before or after he became a Ghostbuster.
Okay.
But he wasn't an established scientist in the first Ghostbusters movie, but it's implied that he went on to actually
Oh
be
man, that mic
incredibly
must be
educated.
heavy because you just dropped it. Good job.
All right.
Good
The
job.
game, the game was
you.
great, but I'm not sure that it's canon.
No, yeah, absolutely.
The game is 100%
It was
canon.
written
And the
by
game
the
was
original writers.
not great. That map UI was the worst.
It was awful.
I
I was lost
love that game.
constantly.
I played the hell out of that game. Here's the thing. I am such a Ghostbusters nerd. I've got a Ghostbusters wallpaper. All right, on my bed. That's not a wallpaper. It's a case.
Stay Puft
Vigo the
Marshmallow Man.
Yeah, but and I will eat up anything that progresses the canon, and I feel like
Especially
this is
marshmallows.
canon. This is going to be canon, right? They've kind of in a weird way announced
It's like a
Murray
sea
Ackroyd
boot.
and Ernie. It's a sea boot, exactly. It feels like a sea boot, which I think we even addressed.
Yeah,
what's a
I learned that from
It's
you guys.
continuous.
Yeah, it's a sequel.
Oh, Seaboot. Okay.
Yeah.
Batman vs Superman.
Right, which is kind of, this was one of the scripts that Dan Aykroyd was talking about where he's like, Aykroyd, Murray, the guys, they have kind of like a Ghostbusters corporation, and then they build up the next generation of Ghostbusters, and that was what he was kind of pitching when it was like Jonah Hill and like Channing Tatum.
Wasn't James Franco
James
like attached?
Franco.
Yeah.
It was like
So-
The
weird.
We
internet
could still
wasn't that
get
upset
that.
then. It's super weird.
I thought they were still talking about like, oh, don't worry, we're gonna do an all-female cast and an all-male cast.
I don't think that's real.
You don't
I think
so?
that was part of the problem. Is the Sony leaks happened and everyone was like, "I know everything," and it's like you don't know anything.
I
You
hope
read an
they do
email.
that.
You have no context for
Yeah.
any of the things. that you think
Instead
you
of
know.
a 21 Jump Street and Men in Black crossover, we should have a 21 Jump Street
Ghostbusters.
and Ghostbusters crossover.
No, but see, that's happening. The Men in Black 21 Jump Street thing is legit happening, which is great. Sure, awesome. I just think that it's like, don't make an all-guy Ghostbusters movie after this, because all it does is delegitimizes
Yeah.
this movie.
That's
like,
true.
let this be what it is. Let it be what it is. It's fine. Let it be what it is. It'll be better than half the crap that is coming out this year anyway.
The IMDb list of the people making this movie is insane.
Yeah.
Like, Paul Feig's great.
He's great. He's fantastic.
Spy was good. The Heat was good. Bridesmaid was great. Freaks and Geeks, if you want to go way back.
I think that, yes, there was a trailer recut that took a lot of the wacky sass out of it, a lot of the bridesmaidsy moments out of it, which is fine, but it's like, let's not forget what this movie is going to be. It's going to be that. It's going to be bridesmaids with ghosts. Right, so let's just embrace it. There are certain moments that we all have to kind of just swallow it and deal with it. Like, okay, Melissa McCarthy's going to be doing her improv-y thing
Probably going to fall through a coffee table at some point.
at some point or
See,
another. She lived in a van
I thought
down
there
by the
wasn't
river.
enough of her in the like she played it super straight. She was like the exposition machine.
Well, Kristen Wiig is 100% going to be the straight man. She is absolutely playing the straight man in
It
this.
was weird to see these four females playing characters that I'm not used to seeing. Like, I felt like McCarthy wasn't very McCarthy. Like, you can definitely see the hints there, but it was... And Kristen Wiig is playing a different character than she would normally play.
They all had to change it because Leslie Jones
Because
does
they're
one
scientists?
thing. She does one thing. And that's my biggest issue. And it's not a race thing. It's not a female thing. I think they cast this when Leslie Jones was super hot at the moment because of all the SNL stuff that was happening. And she's kind of cooled off. And she's still playing the one shtick that she always plays.
Well, hopefully she can bring it back around. She
I
won't
think
be a
she's
Frank
funny.
Caliendo.
Yeah, let's hope. Let's hope. But I'm just hoping
Poor
that
Frank, God rest his soul.
I'm hoping she brings something else to the table because she did a Chris Rock movie a little while ago where she wasn't like loud black lady and she actually acted. I'm like, this is great, but the trailer just showed that she was like loud black lady, and it's like, no, I don't.
It's a minute and 12 seconds.
I know,
Right? You can only
I
do
know.
so
You can only do so much. I'm not
and it's
hating.
fair if you don't like it, but like you just have to. If you go in saying this movie's gonna suck, then you're not gonna like it.
Right, and there are people that are like, wait, you're telling me that I have to spend money on a movie
No,
before I can
whoa.
judge it?
Oh my God, no! No one says you have to spend money ever. Do you understand how entertainment works?
Yeah, they pay you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, that's how it works.
Yeah.
But kind of on the opposite of Matt Rubb, like all the controversy is all just stupid. People need to become educated and okay with things. But for me, watching this, it really did just remind me. Like, I was looking forward to the trailer, I was looking forward to the movie, but then it hit me so hard. I was like, oh, I don't want another Ghostbusters.
I do.
I don't
I'm into
care.
it. I'm into it.
They're
an
remaking
idiot.
everything.
You're an idiot.
What?
You don't want more Ghostbusters?
You know what
If
I'm
it's
talking
on-
like that?
You even look like
No.
Egon.
Okay,
Oh,
I
you
do.
said you look like
I literally
Egon.
have like, right there. It's the Jovenshire pop. It's the Jovenshire pop.
It's not.
Don't
It's
you,
a
don't you
Jovenshire
dare
pop.
take that from me.
But
You said you look like your last name Spangler.
So I want to put this in the same category that I would put a
Magic Carpagory.
a Dumb and Dumber sequel or a.
But here's the problem. So this is an argument that I had because I went and I saw Zoolander 2 and it was poop.
Zoolander.
It was poop.
bad.
More like Pooplander.
It-
Blender.
yeah, good job.
that.
More like
You're
magic.
just zinging everybody
Magic
right now.
Carplander. Just add a Pokemon at the beginning of anything, you'll get her. Here's the problem with doing a sequel to a parody. Parodies work because they're parodying something that exists. Dumb and Dumber was parodying a road movie, which was hot in the early 90s, right? Road movies like, oh, two guys got to go across the world, right? Zoolander was parodying the male model world, which at the time was very ahead of its game because not a lot of people knew about it. you're doing a sequel to something that's a parody. You're only parodying yourself, and you're just self-referential at that point.
Yep.
It doesn't play.
It's a circle jerk.
Yeah, it really is. The reason why those movies exist is because they're a moment in time. They're
like commentary.
Right, they're satiring something that exists.
Ghostbusters was a moment in time.
I don't think so.
It was
It
like
was not
the
commentary.
working man, blue collar,
Ghosts
trying to
don't
find a
go away.
job.
Ghosts are forever.
Ghosts are forever, unless they get busted.
Reitman and Aykroyd got super drunk off of whatever the beginning of Crystal Vodka was in a I think it was Martha's Vineyard bungalow, and they wrote it over a weekend, and that was all it was. It wasn't a parody. It was classic SNL style comedy, and it was them being like, "What's weird? Let's do weird."
Well, you also have to think outside. Like, for example, the sequel is still moving forward with Beetlejuice, where that's a movie that, sure, you can progress, you can have a sequel, it can be a different world, and it makes sense. But at the same time, it was a moment of time where it was this great movie that was back then. I don't want to relive that and it not be as good, because it will never, ever be as good in our mind.
But that's not
a
true.
problem with your child. That's a nostalgia.
It's 'cause you were
That's
beaten.
Everything that you liked as a child, and saying nothing that came out 30 years ago can be allowed to come
Personal
again.
problem.
Star Wars was great.
Yeah,
Like,
see?
if something comes out again, and maybe it's a money grab, and maybe it's not going to be done as well as you want it to, and maybe it's not good, it doesn't in any way take away from your childhood and how great you thought it was.
It's not that it would be
Voice
taken away
of
from my
reason over
childhood.
there.
That's just not
turned
how it
into
works.
therapy.
My childhood will always be intact, no matter how good a movie
We
is
all
or is not.
care about you.
I don't.
Legends
try
of
to
the
find-
Hidden Temple.
If you try to find that same success,
Ziwatanejo.
and you try to find that same humor of what made it golden at one point in time, and you try to recreate that, it falls short because you can't.
But there's a difference between
can.
capturing that. Force Awakens is a perfect example. You've got a goddamn Star Wars tattoo on your body, right? Yeah, I know. I know where it is. It's your taint. It's a tiny little Jabba. No, it's what? We did a video. So I think there is a way to do it as long as you are aligned with the passion of the creator and you're aligned and you're making it work. I think that if you're doing it for the sake of doing it, Dumb and Dumber, Zoolander 2, I think there's a way
When
to
Harry
ruin
met
it.
Lloyd.
Oh my God, no. This is,
Oh, that was not a
That's-
thing that
we
happened.
don't talk about that.
Sorry.
But I think
Yeah, let's just keep
this will
moving.
progress it. I think you're going to have the blessing of an Aykroyd and a Murray and maybe an Ernie Hudson, hopefully. But I think it's going to be what it is, and we just need to accept. It's more Ghostbusters story.
It's more Ghostbusters.
It's more with
It's more
cooler new
Ghostbusters.
weapons. She had that punch thing.
Yeah,
They had the two
it's
pistols.
more ghosts.
Yeah, there's Slimer's
more
back.
science.
Slimer is back.
More EPA.
Will
That's
we-
what-
everything we want.
That's like, because I didn't like the trailer. I didn't hate it like everybody else, but I don't think we can go through it and I'm like, it's not a great trailer. But
I agree.
the equipment they had is awesome. It
Mm-hmm.
has that same look. I love that they go with the like sort of like look of the ghosts.
Yeah.
It's like very unique, and it's like it's like Disney like Haunted Mansion
Yeah.
style, and it's like very cool. I'm like, awesome.
Gonna be fun. It's gonna be a good time. There's gonna be a couple nostalgia pings. There's gonna be some stuff for our moms to enjoy because they loved Bridesmaids. Your
mom.
Yeah, my mom. They're gonna.
Bridesmaids was great.
Yeah, exactly. It had its
I'm a
moments.
guy and I love that
Yeah,
movie.
I loved it too. It did fall off.
You're a person.
The third act.
No.
No, he's definitely a guy and a person.
Yeah.
But yes, this movie has the potential to be great, and I hope it is. I will see it probably twice because I support everything. 98% of it, everything that it is. The fact that it's still Ghostbusters, I don't know if I want that yet.
That
Well,
2%
anyways.
though, god damn it.
But
Coveted.
speaking of make it work, that we should probably get to the last segment of our show. Now that is how we do a transition, kids.
Damn.
Welcome
Although
to the industry.
He said make it work like 6 minutes ago.
I know, and then Davis started talking again.
Sorry,
It's
I
okay.
just had opinions.
It's
How
okay.
dare you?
This is not the place for that.
You guys know this
Right.
works on Make It Work. We take a trendy topic and guess what? We make it work. In this case, I cannot get enough of Fuller House, and I'm sad that I finished all of it. It is so bad and
So ashamed
good
of
at
you.
the same time.
Good, bad.
I love it. In fact, I think I even texted you the other night. I'm like, dude, it goes from this to this to this.
Yeah.
Oh, it's magical.
Are these hand movements you're doing good things?
No, some bad things. Okay, literally, the girl who plays DJ Tanner, there's a wrestling scene. Yes, a lucha libre wrestling scene.
Luce Libre.
Where they got a stunt woman, and then I don't remember her name, but DJ, she sees the stunt woman work, and she's like, "Oh no, I can do that." And I'm watching it; it's all great shots, and she's like doing sweeps, and it looks fantastic. I was like, "Damn, this show's so good!" But then they go into like Stephanie not being able to have kids right afterwards. I'm like, "This show is weird. I love it." But anyways, hey, '90s nostalgia is
Black
finally
Widow.
in your
Clearly.
life. 90s nostalgia is finding a new life on Netflix, and Fuller House proves that it works. So what I want to do is I want to go down the list here, and I want you guys to make it work. I want you to come up with a 90s or 80s or whatever nostalgia, and what Netflix should reboot.
Wow.
A net boot.
Net boot.
Like a sea boot.
Yeah, sea boot, net boot. We just
at?
coined it.
Where you at? Shouty?
Mickey D.
I would love like Batman Beyond, like more of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your conviction is
Well,
really
just-
selling me.
No,
Yeah,
like
it's
it's
coming back.
a great world. I mean, it got a nice little wrap up with Justice League doing that like final thing. So it does like kind of come full circle. But I love that like 90s, that animated series, but like the future. They're like neon cool look of things. That's exciting.
Live action or still animated?
Still animated. I would love.
Roger Rabbit both.
I would love like a not actually directed by like Ridley Scott, but somebody like kind of aping some of his looks to do like a live action and have a cool city. But I'm like, we're not. DC has a lot to prove on the movie front before we get there. So let's let like what's his face from the
Zack
animated
Snyder.
universe. No, the
Bruce Timm.
Bruce Timm. Yeah, let him handle that.
Yeah, I think he'd be down.
I would go with Family Matters.
Family Matterers, what it'd be called.
new modern Family Matters, but I don't want to. I can't. I don't think I
That'd
can
be a
use that. It'd be
great
really
crossover
confusing. Yeah, modern Family
See, I
Matters.
feel like that's so realistic. They could totally do that.
Yeah, they could do that. Where Urkel finally got the girl. I can't remember
Stephanie?
her name. Was it? I don't know.
Tanner.
Probably
Stephanie
Tanner.
Tanner. Yeah.
Urkel finally got
Tie-in.
Stephanie Tanner. They have a kid, and his kid's like super duper smart, and he has to deal with that as he's grown up cool and an entrepreneur and X, Y, and Z. So I feel like that'd be really fun. And the old family still lives in the old neighborhood, so they go visit them every once in a while. But you know, Urkel's and you know that side of the family is dealing with the higher class, modern day era existence of things.
And the dad goes off to be a cop, which is where he meets John McClane.
And there you go. And it's Die Hard.
Yeah.
And that's how it works.
And it leads
I like
into
it.
Die Hard.
I think that's a great idea. I too am gonna go animated for my Make It Work. There's a specific hero that needs to come back. He is the missed call at 3 a.m. He is the empty milk carton left in the fridge. Let's get dangerous, people. We need Darkwing Duck
Oh, I
back.
thought you were going Captain Caveman.
Wait, aren't they
I thought he
bringing
was doing Timmy the Tooth.
Are they?
No, so
Yeah.
there's still a comic that's going, but is there a cartoon that's coming back
No,
for
there
Darkwing
was like
Duck?
a rumor a while ago where it's like, it's
Oh,
coming
good.
back. And the rumor was like the comic's coming back and people didn't like read fully. So then
that's
they started
salty.
writing articles.
Yeah,
Big
which
news
the
comes
comics
from
the comics
headlines.
were great,
Yeah.
but I think now is the time to strike. You have imagine this: Darkwing v Gizmo Duck, Ducks of Justice.
Duck.
Okay, your silence
Dawn of
tells me
Justice.
how wow.
Let me- hold on, hold on.
Live action with CG ducks, like the ducks are. CG.
You know, I'd
What
accept
about a
it.
tie-in with the Mighty Ducks?
Yeah.
The mighty Darkwing Ducks.
The mighty
At the very
Darkwing
end, the
Ducks.
mighty-
But you have Darkwing going against Gizmo Duck, and it takes place like in the future. Like time has passed, so it grows up with us. And so now, with like the age of hackers, Gizmo Duck is very susceptible
Are
to
we
this.
in the age of hackers? I feel like that was
In
like
the
20 years
future.
ago. Got it.
Yeah.
Come on,
Future
it's Darkwing Duck.
Jurassic
It's
Park.
okay.
He's a hacker.
Was
So-
his niece? Was
so-
his niece?
it
carry the
was
file
no.
over.
He actually it was someone that he adopted. Was
her name?
JD.
Was it JD?
Gadget.
DJ or
DJ.
JD.
Yeah, 2 letters.
DJ
It was
Tanner.
cool in
So
the 90s.
she's a
DJ
hero.
Tanner.
She's
and
Got
then,
around.
then you have Launchpad there also. But so
What's the
you
girl's
have
name with the
I
pigtails?
think it was
The
either
JD or DJ.
Gidget.
Gadget?
Nope.
Nope. You're thinking Gadget from something else. But it'd be neat because you have like everyone
trying,
loves
man.
Gizmo
Tailspin.
Duck, and then
Tailspin.
Oh, yeah.
Darkwing's like, I don't trust Gizmo Duck, and then all of a sudden Gizmo Duck gets hacked, and then he starts terrorizing everyone, and then Darkwing has to come in and then fix him, and then all of a sudden they take on the Dangerous Five, who's now come in
Are
under
they
the
also
shadow.
ducks?
Darkwing's like,
No, the Dangerous
if there's
Five-
an even 1% chance that he could get
No, the
hacked,
Dangerous Five
we
was
have to
the
take that as an absolute certainty. Let's get dangerous.
And Davis will be voicing Darkwing Duck. That's my Make It Work. Bring back Darkwing.
Wow.
I'm in with that.
I don't think there's a. I don't.
Leave it hanging.
Was gonna get there. Yeah, no, those were great ideas.
But
But I think
When there's
that
trouble, you call DW.
I think that the horror genre is underrepresented on Netflix. There was the Eli Roth. What is it?
Werewolves?
Something Grove.
Yep.
But I think
Hemlock Grove.
Yeah, there's nothing on there that's spooky or scary. And no, not spooky, scary boys becoming men becoming wolves.
Right.
I'm not saying
I'd watch an entire
Werewolf
movie of
Bar
Werewolf Bar Mitzvah.
But I think that they should bring back Are You Afraid of the Dark or Goosebumps, and they could be like Goosebumps might not work because it's new,
there's already been
the
tainted.
movie.
Yeah.
But Are You Afraid of the Dark would totally work. It could be like an anthology type
It would
series.
be bigger than ever.
It would be
I just want to try it.
Yeah, it's fun, right? It's fun, right?
I got power hungry.
We might just have this special phrase in every episode because it's cool. Maybe not.
There is this established nostalgia there for Are You Afraid of the Dark from the 90s. Everyone loved it. It came back in the early 2000s for like a year.
Yeah.
So people
Did it?
love, whatever.
Are
People,
you still afraid of the dark?
Yeah.
Last summer.
Yeah. and we know, don't lie.
Yeah.
It's very complicated. Title didn't work out.
Comma, we know, semicolon.
We're
but do we?
workshopping it. Just give us time.
6, and it was weird.
Yeah.
But there's a base there, and there's an opening for that genre there. It would work because there could be standalone stories.
Right.
Like, there's so many reasons why it would work, and it's just they're creepy stories that make you think and kind of creep you out a little, but they don't keep you from sleeping. So like, it would appeal to so many ages.
And-
Scary things don't let me sleep.
I mean, it was like kids' Twilight Zone.
Well, we are
Yeah, it
getting
was really good.
Twilight Kids.
We are getting Guillermo del Toro's
Stop pitching
Scary
stuff.
Stories to
Right.
what it's called, Scary Stories,
Spoopy.
Spoopy Stories.
And where to
Spooky,
find them?
scary,
I'm Guillermo del
boys
Toro, I
becoming
like
men,
scary things.
Men becoming wolves.
All right, Matt, Rob, wrap us up. What is your make it work? What nostalgia needs to show up on
I stick
Netflix?
with a sitcom, man. I feel like the reson why Fuller House works.
Spin City.
Which, Spun City. It's backwards.
And there's spiders.
Oh, I'm gonna change mine now. Sorry, guys. No, so Fuller House works because it's like the next generation, and it's kind of the same, but it's also different. They're all coming back. I feel like the reason why Fuller House worked so well is because it was the same formula, and you were able to continue the story, right? So it's not like it's a reboot where you're like, oh, I guess I have to just jump in. Like, they continue the story. The kids are now the parents. The Olsens don't exist.
Well, they
And
do
it's
exist, but they don't exist.
They're running their fashion empire
fashion
in New
empire.
York.
It's a reference to the show.
That is the worst thing I've ever
was
seen.
the
That's
greatest
the
thing.
worst.
It was the greatest thing.
The split screen where they're singing the lullabies.
That was perfect. That was great
Full
nostalgia.
House.
My girlfriend
And
cried
her name
when
is
that
Fuller.
happened.
Her husband's dead.
Sorry. Continue.
Okay, but what I would do, I would continue with that. And there was a sitcom in the 90s and 2000s called That 70s Show. 20 years ago.
Yes!
Yes, so they would take it, you'd jump 20 years ahead, we'd forget that 80s show.
Millennials.
Yes, so I would say they're all a little bit older. They're all trying to adapt into the 90s yuppie lifestyle. You've got the 90s nostalgia, all the 90s stuff. You've got your triangles and your weird Keith Haring things in the back. Pogs are big.
So it's
There's
Ram
just-
one
Wait, but they did that
Pokemon.
80s show, didn't
And with Dennis from It's Always Sunny. They lasted like 2 episodes. It was terrible. But you do that 90s show, everyone's a little bit older. Laura Prepon is already in the Netflix universe because she's got Orange is the New Black. Topher Grace is Venom, so he's got a lot of time. Danny Masterson just runs a club in LA. He's not doing anything except for Scientology.
Ashton Kutcher.
Ashton Kutcher will come back, of course. Mila Kunis will come back, of course.
Would she?
I feel like if you've got enough of the cast, no one's going to pull like a Tiffany Amber Thies and be like, no.
It's a good opportunity, Netflix, I think.
Also do like smaller seasons.
Yeah, exactly. Well, here's the thing about Fuller House is like, oh my God, they all came back for the first episode, but like Bob Saget showed up for like an episode later on. John Stamos showed up for like 2 episodes later on. Like they weren't all there. It wasn't a time commitment thing. It was like a nice nostalgia moment where everyone is back. You could have that moment in the first episode where they all passing the joint in the 90s and it's like a thing and they could spin around. And then it's about like them having a kid and like it could be Laura Prepon and Topher Grace adapting to having a younger kid.
Laura was Urkel's crush.
That's it. Yes. I'm glad we got there. I'm glad we got there.
Way to bring it back.
Oh, okay, background. That's a good pitch. All right, guys. Now you let us know what your favorite make it work is. Who had the better pitch? I don't know. Maybe someone that talked about Dark Queen Dark.
That 90s show.
But anyways, guys, thank you. Yeah, Matt Robbins was good. Stop that. Put your hand away. Guys, thank you so much for watching Unpopular Kids. You know what? We'll see you next week.
Yay, nipples.
Humor in superhero movies. Is it something that we should structure our future movies around? What movies have done it well?
Are you basing this off of the success of a current movie?
Let's look at Deadpool. Would Deadpool have been as good if it wasn't as humorous?
Nope.
Disney, but it was when Pan was coming out, and that was a focus. It was garbage, but that was a film that was, at least in the trailers, focusing on the birth of Hook.
Right,
So I was like, oh, it'd be really cool if they kind of spun it and they gave us all the villains movies.